Thank you everyone for joining us at the Kidventure Kamp parent meeting. We are going to go over some camp specifics for you today. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. You can put them in the chat. I'll be keeping an eye on that, and I'll answer those when I have a chance. Otherwise, you can feel free to unmute and ask a question if you'd like. So I'll just go ahead and get started. My name is Claire Baumgartner. I am the Morton Grove Park District Recreation Supervisor that oversees all of our summer camps. Also here with me is Sarah Lindahl. She is my summer camp coordinator. So she goes to each of the camps and helps as needed around there. And then also here is Safina. Safina is our head counselor this year. So she will be the new head counselor for Kidventure Kamp. She has been with camp over at junior camp for several years now, I think 5 or 6. And she just recently, did you graduate, Safina?
About to, so I'm in my senior year of college.
Yeah, so she's about to graduate with her degree in early childhood education.
Yes.
So we're excited to have her. Our other counselors are Teresa Curtis. She was there last year. And then as well as Marilyn Cuesta, who has been the head counselor the past couple of years. She's going to be one of our camp counselors over there. So I'm excited to have them here again with us, and I think it'll be a really good year. So I'm sure you've gotten my emails regarding our camper paperwork. So we are using ePact, which is a secure online network that we use for those emergency contacts, the emergency information, the pickup list, all of that information that we can have on your campers to make sure that they are safe and healthy. It is a secure network. They are HIPAA compliant, so they have to follow the rules of HIPAA because there is medical information on there for their security purposes. If you have specific questions on their security, you can always ask ePact any specific questions. Also, if you're having any trouble with it, you can ask me or you can ask ePact. So they will answer the parent questions that come in. So you can ask the help desk for any information for troubleshooting. You have to use the email that the invitation was sent to. Otherwise, the information won't connect to our dashboard. If you've already filled out information and you feel like you're done with it and you're still getting reminder emails, this could be why you're using a different email. And if that's the case, just send me an email and I can fix it for you. I'll switch the emails that are in RecTrack and in ePact, and then you'll be able to connect and submit to our dashboard. These must be complete before your child comes the first day. So if your child starts next week with Camp S'more, they won't with this group, but if your child starts on June 12th, that information has to be in before the first day. Otherwise, they won't be allowed to stay until that information is submitted. So if you're having any trouble with it, feel free to send me an email and we can work it out, or you can email the ePact help desk directly. On your authorized to pick up list, so any emergency contacts or authorized to pick up lists, people will be allowed to pick up your child. There is also a portion for somebody who's not allowed to pick up, so you can fill that out if needed. When your child is picked up, particularly like that first week, we'll check IDs for anyone that we don't recognize. So that first week, we might not recognize you right away. So we will ask for an ID just to make sure that you are on that list for pickup. That's just for your child's safety and so that we know who the child is going home with. So our behavior policy is we follow a behavior code of conduct, and it's mostly respecting the other children, the staff, and our equipment. And not using any inappropriate language. So when a behavior requires, we may have you sign a behavior report. If your child receives 3 behavior reports, you'll hear from me and we'll schedule a meeting with the parents, the head counselor, and myself, just so that we can come and get like an action plan to try and help with some of those behaviors that we're seeing in camp. If we do ask that you pick up your child on time. There is a 10-minute grace period, but after 10 minutes, there is a late fee of $1 per minute. The staff will have you sign a form. If you're over 10 minutes late, they'll have you sign a form and it'll show how much the late fee is for. And then that sheet will be taken to the Prairie View Community Center and they will process those fees. And you can pay the fee to the Prairie View Community Center, or you can pay it online. You can pay an old balance. Give us a couple days to get that fee on there. They won't be allowed to collect any money on site at camp, so we won't be able to do that. Okay, and then if your child requires any medications, I'm going to send some information on this. This is something I was still trying to figure out and work out, but we seem to have worked it out. There is a permission to dispense form on ePact that I can send you a link to, and then you can download that form and then upload it into your child's ePact account. That includes any EpiPens that are given, any inhalers, or if there's any like allergy medication like Benadryl, things like that. It's important to note that the medication has to be in the original bottle and it has to have your child's name on it. If it's a prescribed medication, it'll have to have your child's name on it. We ask that if your child doesn't feel well, that you keep them home from summer camp. If they are displaying a fever or if they're exhibiting any symptoms like vomiting or diarrhea, or if they have like if they're coughing kind of incessantly, we will call you to send them home. Sometimes a child will call to complain about, that they have a headache or that they have a stomach ache, and our staff will use their, best judgment to decide whether to call you or not. They may call you and say, do you want to pick up your child? Do you want to have them try and stick it out? But just be aware of that. And we do just ask that if your child is sick, just keep them home. So if you are on our payment plan, those payments start 1 week before each session begins. So the first bill will be on June 5th if you are in the first session, and then it's basically every 2 weeks if you're in every session. That full schedule is in the parent handbook, so you can go ahead and take a look at that. That is on page 8 if you're looking for that. And then Manassar, many of you may know what Manassar is, and that's this special recreation association that our park district works with to provide accommodations for any campers that might need it. If you requested assistance from Manassar and haven't heard anything from them, please let me know, because if you requested it through me, I would have sent them a request form, and then they should have reached out to you to get some more information on your child. So if you haven't heard from them, please let me know. All right, so that's all I'm going to go over. I'm going to let Safina talk about some Kidventure Kamp specifics. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to let us know.
Okay, so starting with drop off and pickup. So for drop off, I will be at the front door checking in campers one at a time. I would have parents come meet me at the door. And like I said, I'm going to be checking in one at a time. And then my staff will be helping each camper put away their backpack and lunches. And then as for pickup, again, I will be at the front door once again. And then I will have you guys line up at the door and I will dismiss campers out one at a time. And then for our schedule. So our schedule will look like we would have a craft twice a week. We would do outdoor games every day. We would go to the park and we are going to play some water games. We do have a librarian come in every other Thursday for about 30 minutes to read some stories and sing songs with the campers. And then for water days, we will have water days on Tuesday and on Friday. So we advise that on Tuesday and Fridays that campers come prepared and come in their bathing suits. Depending on the weather, we may not do water activities, but if anything, I would please advise that the campers still come prepared. For lunch, we will have lunch around 11:30, 12 o'clock on Monday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And on swim day, or not swim days, I'm sorry, water game days, we will have campers have lunch around 11 to 11:30. This is a nut-free camp, so we do advise no nuts during lunch. Lunch will also be refrigerated, so we don't have to worry about lunch being all warm and stuff. A newsletter will go out every Thursdays, and that will just let you know what we have going on for the week, what the theme is, what activities we're doing, and some reminders. So what to bring to camp. So I would have campers come with a packed lunch, again, no nuts, a water bottle, wear closed-toed shoes so campers are able to run around on the field and play in the park and stuff. For clothing, anything that is comfortable for them and that can be accessible while playing outdoor activities. I want 2 towels. So one towel will be for water days, so to dry them off for water days, and another towel that will be for picnics that will stay at camp. So both towels, I do advise, can you please label with the camper's name on it, as well as a Ziploc bag of clean, dry, extra clothes with the camper's name as well that will also stay at the camp. And I just, to specify, can you please label lunch boxes, water bottles, extra clothes, and all towels. For sunscreen, I would prefer if the campers come with sunscreen already applied. We are not able to apply sunscreen on them as long as if it's a spray. So we can apply spray on them, but not lotions or anything else. T-shirts. So Kidventure does get Kidventure t-shirts, and they can wear them whenever they would like. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So if anyone has any questions.
Safina, I just wanted to sort of clarify maybe. So on swim day or on water days, you'll bring a towel. So Tuesdays and or Fridays, you'll bring a towel that will then be sent home.
Yes.
Once we're done at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
The first day of camp that you come, we do ask that you bring another towel, a separate towel, that we'll keep at summer camp, and we'll use that for like eating outside. They'll eat on their towel. Yeah. Oh, and then so I know so we're not allowed to apply lotion sunscreen. That's just to keep boundaries. But if your child, if you think they won't like being sprayed in the face, sometimes we'll just spray their hands and then they can put it on their face. Or if you'd prefer, I know they have like a roll-on, like a stick, like a face stick. That would be an option too. That's something we can do as well. Nut free, so no peanut butter. I know a lot of people like peanut butter. An option is sun butter, which is basically like sunflower seed butter. You can try that and see if your child likes that. That's an alternative that you can try. Any other questions? No. Any questions about the swim days or anything like that? Okay. All right. I would encourage you to be sure to read the newsletter. So the newsletter is going to come from me. Safina will put it all together and then I email it out. So I would be sure to take a look at that and see what your children are doing. There may be important reminders or important information in there that I would definitely encourage you to take a look at. If there aren't any questions, we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Again, thank you so much, everyone, for coming. Thank you, Safina, for all of your information. And we'll see everybody soon.